Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is Russ Terry.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Russ. I have to say Russ is a repeat, because last time we gave you a very special effect. Russ was underwater. I don't know why. So we decided, since you could barely understand anything he was talking about, that we'd do this all over again. So thank you for indulging me and
thank
us.
you.
And what we're going to be talking about today is gratitude. And we're going to be using the gratitude card from Points of View. And there it is. As you can see, a small child on a fence. No, that's called a bench. And who's obviously taken a pause to appreciate whatever's in front of him. So what we're doing today is, as in every day, we're basing this show on the fantastic Points of View game, which is a marvelous card game that was developed in Israel. Designed to bring right brain and left brain thinking together. And it just so happened to have a gratitude card, which is just so perfect for Mr. Terry. And so what we're going to do is talk about gratitude, and I like to say that Russ wrote the book on gratitude. So Russ, show them what I'm talking about. Yes, yes, he really did. And this was this had not been out too long the last time we did this, right?
Right, yeah, it just came out at the end of March.
Yes, and I am keeping track on Facebook and wherever I go, and Russ is. The books are flying off his backpack, wherever you're bringing them, you're selling them, which is fantastic. Tell me where the whole idea came about.
So it came two ways. Number one, I took a 1-hour training on writing a book through the place that we got trained, IPEC, the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching.
I didn't know they had that training.
It was just a 1-hour training class, how to write a book. I took maybe a half page of notes. And then 6 months later, I was reading a book called The Fearless Factor by Jacqueline Wales. I highly recommend it. And she said, keep a gratitude journal. So somehow reading her book and having had that training class, I got the idea, why don't I make a book about my gratitude journal that literally is my gratitude journal. So that's what the book is, My Gratitude Journal.
Read the whole title. It's a very long title. We could put it all on the bottom.
Yeah, it's funny. I have to look at the title as if I can't remember it. I haven't said it a million times. Yeah, so it's called My Gratitude Journal, 365 Days of the People and Things I'm Grateful for and the Lessons You Can Learn from Them.
Wow.
So
now, is this your journaling? Is that what it
literally is my journal. So if you look in here, there's the date every single day. At the end of each week, I say, what did you learn from this week's entries, and what changes can you make to live your best life?
So when somebody buys it, they would look at it, and it's you with your writings.
Exactly.
But the lessons can be applied to their.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I thought it was, and this is my fault. When
No
we first were talking about it, I said, oh, it's like a blank page, blank book. I could probably write one of those. But this is far more intense, because I know last time last time Russ had his computer, and he really did document every day. I'd give him a date, and he'd go, okay, on that day I played tennis and I hit a ball or something. Yeah.
Right, that's right.
Which was so fantastic, because I didn't really get to look at the book. So it's like, okay, so you decided, all right, I'm going to gratitude myself for a year, and what happened?
So I wrote the book, everything, for an entire year. I would check to make sure I hadn't repeated myself, and there were a couple times where I did, so then I would check my document and find something else to be grateful for, which there's really a lot of power in that, in forcing yourself to come up with 365 different examples of gratitude. It really opens the mind to all that's out there to be grateful for.
You would think that it's like impossible, but here's the book. Obviously it's not, yeah.
It's very possible, and I almost thought when the year was over, oh my gosh, maybe I should do a second year and write another book, year 2, which I didn't do that, although I do have more books coming.
Gratitude Journal Part 2.
Yeah, more books coming out on gratitude, but we'll discuss that a little later, I think.
So now, are you continuing on a not a writing book level, but are you continuing to write in a gratitude journal every day?
So I don't write in a journal every day, but I have a Facebook page for the book, so I usually post on there every day.
Okay. All right.
In some cases, something new that I didn't experience last year. In other cases, something that I may have experienced when I wrote the book, but I experienced it again, and it's worth posting again. just as a reminder to people.
What are the benefits? What did you, let me count the ways.
Yeah.
What did you get out of all that?
I think the biggest thing is when you start practicing gratitude, especially doing it daily, the examples of it keep flowing like a bountiful river.
Is it once you awaken yourself, or you,
exactly,
then it's suddenly you're aware?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there are things that happen now in my life that I'll forever have at the forefront of my consciousness because of this book writing process. For instance,
I was going to say, please give me an example.
Yeah, yeah, getting home safe every day. You know, there's crazy stuff going on in the world these days, and the one day it was maybe a near miss accident on the highway or something like that. I said, oh, I'm so glad I got home safe. So now every time I get home, whether I drive or take the train, walk, I'm grateful that I got home safe.
Now, do you cheat? If you have like 3 things in a day, do you put one in another day? I mean, do you limit yourself, or is it just an outpouring of gratitude, no matter what it may be?
Yeah, some days it was multiple things. Some day it might have been, you know, let's say March 15th, I documented March 15th's entry, and then March 16th I might have said, oh my gosh, this great thing happened last night.
Oh, okay.
So something
you're,
like
you're
that.
honest about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, you hinted about some more books. What's going on here?
Yeah, so
Too much gratitude?
Well, my experience was so powerful documenting my year of gratitude that I have scoured the country and even outside the U.S. and found 30 incredible people who are now doing the same thing I did, documenting something different they're grateful for every day for a year.
Now, are they doing this as a result of your book? Or?
As a result of my book and just me.
Gosh, how cool.
I know, I know, so cool. And me talking about gratitude and being the gratitude guy. And so now they're each on their year of gratitude, and then each of those 30 people will write a chapter in one of my 2 forthcoming books. I know, Russ Terry's Gratitude Mission and Russ Terry's Gratitude Mission 2. So the first book will have 15 people. That'll be out summer 2015, and the second book will have 15 more people. That'll be out hopefully fall 2015, just in time for Thanksgiving, which is everybody's favorite time to be grateful.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Look at the one, who was it, Jacqueline Wales? She hit one little person and it's just exploded.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, we have somebody in France, somebody from Nicaragua, all over the United States, all ages.
Wow.
We have somebody that's a college student all the way to a retiree in his 60s. And it's a really cool process. We have a private Facebook group where each of them posts what they're since we have 30 people, we have each day of the month represented pretty much.
Perfect, right.
So they each have a number and they each post on their day what they're grateful for.
Wow. So I'm suspecting if they look at the website on the bottom of the page here, they might be able to find out a little bit more about not only the book that's out, but the book that's coming out.
So I don't have anything on the next book yet, but that's a good reminder that I should put something on my website. Yeah.
Save the date, or
yeah, that's an excellent idea. You're quite the marketer, Lori.
Well,
I need to stick with you.
No, I'm just amazed at how one person, which would be, maybe we could start with Jacqueline, but then start with you, and it's just in how this has just branched out and become. I mean, Russ and I did a class together, and everybody knows that I'm an IPEC person, and as is Russ. And the people that were there were so enamored of this book. And
Thank you.
They were studying to be coaches, and I really wish that it was available when I was taking my training, because I think the idea of a gratitude journal, especially during the grueling days of coach training, would have been so nice. Because there were many things that I felt like I missed, you know, because you're going through a breakneck speed and there's so many assignments and you really want to get it done. You want to be a coach, for gosh sakes. But I kept saying, gosh, I know I'm missing stuff. So that would have been a way to just stop and go, okay, today I had a great coaching session with somebody, or today I learned a new tool that was so effective. So you might want to talk to them about that and say, you know what, I think you need a gratitude journal as a part of this training.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
It really, you know, because that was always my lament. Because I knew if I slowed down, I wouldn't get it done. Because when I have to say, IPEC training is really good and comprehensive, and it keeps you very busy. very busy. So, and I knew if I slowed, it would be like, oh, I'd lose the momentum. But I always felt I'm missing something. You know, I'm missing so many experiences. So I think that would help.
And I think it can help not just those who went through our training, but all trainings, whether somebody's leading a busy life, whether somebody is struggling in life. That's really the key too, where if you're struggling in life, you can still be grateful for a lot of things, that you're still alive, for elements of nature, for waking up in the morning, for having running water. You know, there are so many things, and gratitude is universal. Yes. All of us can be grateful for something, a person, an experience, a feeling every day.
Yeah, and I'm just so grateful that you're bringing it. Then you can really get into it. I'm just so grateful that you're bringing it to the forefront and making people aware and just encouraging them to, you know, be aware of what's going on with you and all of that. So thank you for that, and thank you for continuing. I can't wait to read the other 2 books that are coming out. It'll be so much fun to see because everything is, like you said, it's all relative, and everything is individualized. It's like, you know, what I'm grateful for, you may not be, and that's okay. Yeah.
Right.
That's okay. Or I may go, oh, that was a good one. I'm grateful for that too. Yeah.
Exactly.
I do. My garage is under my building, and I'm grateful when I get out of my car. It's like, wow, this is so safe.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. I don't have to park on the street. Just little things, but it's really things that we should acknowledge. And you're saying there's a magic thing that if you acknowledge it, then more seems to come to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Researchers say, some researchers say it takes 3 weeks to develop a habit. Other researchers say 3 months is how long it takes to develop a habit. So I'm erring on the side of caution and going with 3 months.
That'll do it.
I have a new gratitude group coaching program that starts in September, which I'm super excited about, that anybody from anywhere, they don't have to be an author in one of my forthcoming books, but they get a workshop, a gratitude workshop, where they get to figure out 20 different things and experiences and people that they're grateful for, plus there's accountability over the course of the 90 days of the group coaching program.
Now, how do you accountability gratitude?
Just by being in it with other people, and this is your day to document your piece of gratitude, this is your day, this is my day, etc. So it builds momentum, and I've seen it in the people, the contributing authors for Russ Terry's Gratitude Mission in the Facebook group we have. There's momentum building. One person writes a post, and then somebody comments on it, and the next day's person writes a post, and it's been really exciting to see these people who don't know each other now are establishing a camaraderie around gratitude.
And it's the beauty of the universality of it all. It's like, so is this the first time you've done a gratitude workshop?
I've done them as webinars and in-person workshops.
So
This is the first time where it's part of this gratitude group coaching program. It's always just been a standalone workshop.
And it's going to be face-to-face, or?
It's going to be over Google Hangout, so people can join from wherever they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be international, I bet.
Yeah. I hope so, from your lips to God's ears.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And how long is it again?
It's 3 months. So
3
it starts in September,
and it'll once a week, or?
It starts with the workshop, just so people have a great foundation, and then the meetings are monthly after that, but there are daily touch points in the Facebook group.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
And so they don't have to buy your book?
They don't have to buy the book.
They can just come. Okay.
Many are inspired to, but certainly there's no pressure. If people don't want to buy it, that's fine. I have 2 more books coming out. I'm excited. I've sold 500 to 600 so far since it came out in late March.
That's amazing.
Yeah, hopefully the momentum continues.
Yeah, I can't see how it wouldn't. And I'm so glad you're stoking the fire, so to speak, with a gratitude workshop, a training workshop. That's it's not that you have to be trained in how to appreciate. I think you have to be trained in how to be aware, right? Yeah.
Exactly, and by being a part of it, you're purposely carving out the time to focus on it. Whereas, like you said,
and that's accountability, yes. Okay.
Exactly. You probably don't need to be trained in it. People might figure these things out on their own, but by being a part of it, you're saying, okay, you know, Russ will lead and I will follow.
Russ will lead and I will follow.
Oh, that
sounds like a
little,
mantra. Russ
I know.
will lead.
It sounded a little obnoxious. I meant it in a nicer way.
I know you did. I know you did. Well, I want to keep talking about gratitude, and also want to talk about your radio show. You got a whole thing going there. Let's go to your radio show, and then we'll come back to gratitude. We can always come back to gratitude. Yeah. Well, tell us. I know you've got, what is it? Life Coach Network? Is that what it is?
Life Coach Radio Networks.
Radio Network. Yeah.
Which is 3 different stations on Blog Talk Radio.
Right.
To date, we've had almost 75 coaches.
Wow.
Who have been hosts for 2 or 3 months or more on the networks. Our current roster is about 40-some hosts, again, from all over the country. We've had people from India, London, France, Canada, other countries too. And it's just really great. It's an excellent forum that's free for the public. They can listen either on their computer or on their iPhone on the podcast. And it's a great forum for the coaches to help enhance their brand and have something to talk about. And it's also great for the coaches, the knowledge sharing among them. But I'm really proud of it. We've had hundreds of thousands of listeners so far. And it's cool that my idea has grown and had, I think, a positive impact on these coaches and the people that they serve.
And it's a great outlet. I mean, you know, because a lot of times, I know my thing was when I became a coach, it's like, I want to let everybody know this is so cool.
Right.
You know, and now it's a great outlet. So how does one, first, how does one hear the show?
Yep, they can go to lifecoachradionetworks.com, and then once you're on there, just click on the link to listen to our shows. Our 3 separate networks are Life Coach Radio Network, which is the flagship channel, the ESPN, if you will, and then International Life Coach Radio, or ESPN2, and then Life Coach Chat Channel, which is like ESPN3.
Fantastic. And so they can download or listen to it. They don't have to catch it live or anything.
Nope.
They can just,
they can download the podcast on their iPhone. So if they're in the podcast store on iTunes, they just go to Life Coach Radio Network or International Life Coach Radio or Life Coach Chat Channel and download the podcast, which is how some of my friends listen, or they could be on their computer and listen that way.
And how does somebody become a host if they want to become a host?
They can reach out to us also on our website, lifecoachradionetworks.com. There's a So You Want to Be a Host page. And
of course there is. It's so perfect.
Well,
so you want to be a host.
Yeah, exactly. And we define coach and life coach in an inclusive way. So it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that's formally a life coach. They could be a health coach or some other wellness practitioner. Anybody that's out there trying to make the world a better, happier, healthy place, we'd love to have them.
That's fantastic. So it's inclusive. I mean, you can really, it's
health
not
coaches, personal trainers, executive coaches, spirituality coaches, everyone.
Wow. And do you provide training for them? I mean,
I do, yes.
You do.
I was just thinking about that on my way here. So I train them specifically on the Blog Talk Radio platform. This is how to create a show. This is how to run a live show. Also, as you can imagine, with 40-some hosts on 3 different networks, our internal training is comprehensive, just figuring out the schedule between the different hosts, who's going to be on when, how to promote your colleagues' shows, how to do our social media stuff. So the training is rather comprehensive. It's up to 90 minutes at times.
I can't believe you coordinate. Do you coordinate all that?
I do, yeah. I have 2 co-executive producers. Shout out to them, Danielle Mercurio and Philomena Iorio Tashaluk. And they handle certain things for the network. So Danielle talks to all of our potential hosts, the people that want to join, and then Philomena handles our website, getting everybody's profile up on the website.
Good. I would have been so amazed if you did all that yourself.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 radio shows that I do, and just getting the guest, it's like, oh my gosh, that's just to coordinate that, and then the co-host, and so now if someone wants to be a guest, who would they talk to?
So for guests, what we suggest is you peruse the hosts on the website. So go to the Meet the Host page on lifecoachradionetworks.com and see which host resonates with you. Like I said, we have dozens of coaches. So what we encourage people to do is to reach out to the person, their contact info is in there, who you feel like you would be a good fit for the type of stuff that they do and the type of content that they talk about on their show.
Well, that's a great idea. And then see, it's like, oh, I
that way they're empowered to reach out directly to the people that they feel the energy toward.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so we welcome anybody watching this that you think you want to be a guest. Just go to our website and find a coach that you think you want to do a show with.
I don't know about you, I'm always so amazed at how many people are anxious to be on radio. I think there's a lot of people out there who have a lot they want to say, and you know, a message they want to get out. So it's like, at first it was like, oh, can I do this? It's like, oh my gosh, the problem is sorting it out.
Right.
But don't let me discourage you. If you want to be a guest, go to the radio network,
Life Coach Radio Networks.com.
Networks, and you know, see what tickles your fancy, so to speak.
Yeah. We're always looking for new hosts. We're always looking for new guests. So everyone is welcome. Very inclusive environment.
I love it. It's just like you're getting the message out, but you're allowing everybody to be a part of it, and that's so cool. And that's the same with the gratitude book. It's like, I'm getting this message out, you should be grateful, but also you're allowing everyone else to be a part of it also. It's like, it's an interactive exercise, which is perfect.
Thank you. And as we learned in our training, creating win-win situations in life is a great, powerful thing, and I think that's what we have. It's a win for all of the coaches who are on, it's a win for all of our listeners, it's a win for me personally that I've had this idea and built it and people have come to it, which is a really cool thing. So I'm very grateful for all the hosts that I have on the network now, all the listeners that we have, all the hosts who have been on, who've now moved on to bigger and better things as a result of being on the radio networks. So yeah, it's just a really great experience.
It's and once again, I'm grateful that you're returning to do this, and I'm almost grateful that not grateful that the sound was messed up before, but it's good that we got an opportunity because now we've got so much more going.
I know,
like, and we were just talking about the book before, and it was very interesting, but now it's like, oh, there's a
out.
Workshop, and there's another book, there's 2 more books coming, so that, so that's thinking, good lemonade out of lemons. What the heck?
Exactly.
Why not? Let's have a little fun with points of view,
right.
because what happens is with the card, there is a corresponding number, and there's a book. And there's a story that goes with each card. And it could be a Sufi tale, it could be a fable, it could be whatever it is. There's also some great quotes, and there's also some great coaching questions. So let's go with the coaching questions.
Okay,
well, the first one
ready.
the first one was, what do I take for granted?
So for this one, I think in my year of gratitude, I realized that perhaps I was taking for granted the health of my immediate family. And that's something that I discovered I was really, really grateful for. Both of my parents are still alive and very healthy. There were a number of funerals that I had to go to in my year of writing. So
really,
it just, a parent of a friend or my uncle passed away. So it just brought it close to home that I'm grateful that my parents are still alive, that they're healthy, my sister is healthy, her husband, her kids, everybody in my immediate family is healthy and thriving. And that's something that I think for all of us, maybe we take it for granted if it's not top of mind.
Definitely. I think, as they say about your health, you don't appreciate it until you don't have it, you
right.
know? And I understand so perfectly what you say, because I've had a lot of death in my family, starting as a young child, and there's a little gloom there, but it also makes you appreciative of life. It's like, okay, nothing is really, guaranteed for X amount, so it's like, okay, let's appreciate what we have while we have it. What do I take for granted? I think I take for granted, some of the talents that I have. I assume that, and I realize this when I see people struggling, I assume that everybody can write, and then I know people who avoid certain tasks because they can't write, and it's like, oh, you know what, I shouldn't take for granted that everybody can write, that enjoys writing, It's not that I can, but I enjoy writing. So it could be, so I think maybe that's one of the talents that I take for granted. It's like, so I just have to say, you know what, you can do that well, and I'm grateful.
I love that you said that, because that's something you can imagine with more than a year worth of things to be grateful for, but I don't think I've ever said that I'm grateful for my ability to write, my ability to appear on a TV show and do well, hopefully. I think I'm doing well,
So far, so good.
Right.
I give you an A, Yeah.
Yeah, that's an excellent one. I like that. I'm going to post that.
I think I realized that when I saw somebody, they weren't invoicing, they weren't billing people for services because they couldn't get the bill together, and it was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, you know. So it's like, okay, don't take that for granted.
Jeez.
But let's see, what can I acknowledge and honor about myself? You go first.
Well, I think it goes along the same lines as what I was just saying, that I feel blessed that I have a talent, that I'm well-spoken, and I like to think charismatic, and people are drawn to me, getting back to what you were saying about the class that we did together.
Right.
Which, by the way, I'm grateful that we got to experience that.
That was fun.
It was a great experience together to be able to experience that. And Lori's been in coaching a little longer than me, so there was a part where the students came up and asked us questions, and they had some questions that were better suited for Lori, so she answered them. There were some that were better suited for me, so I answered them. And then there were some that were perfect for both of us, and we both answered them.
Right. It was a nice give and take, and it was also nice to be able to, you know, share what we've had, because I don't remember having that when I was doing it, because I did it in 2004, and they were just really kind of starting out with this training, and it was like, so I didn't get to share that. So it was so great to be able to share that. And that's what I think that's what I would acknowledge about me, and probably about you too. It's, I don't know why, and I will attribute it to my training. It's like, but early on I realized, oh my gosh, this is so good, I have to share it. You know, I love what I'm learning about myself, but I can't just be that selfish, I have to share it. So I think that's what I would acknowledge about myself. It's like, I want people to know. I want people to know how cool coaching is. I want them to know how great their lives can be with very minimal changes. You don't have to, you know, do a world tour. You don't have to do anything. You can get a book and write in it and be. So I think I would acknowledge that. And I think you're the same way. I think you want people to know, I'm a coach, and it's cool, and you can be cool too.
Right. And we're the same sign. We're both Leos. Our birthday is this month. And
which means we like attention. So that might be why we're telling people also. But
oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head with that one. My friends at home are chuckling to themselves as they watch this.
Yes. A little attention never hurt anybody. But let's see. And one of the quotes is, and I think this fits it, and this is by the person who created. We only have like a few seconds left. Expressing gratitude, appreciation is the best way to empower and inspire growth. People make their biggest breakthroughs with the help of appreciation. When gratitude is expressed for actions and good intentions, miracles occur. And I think you found the secret to that, Russ Terry, and I'm so grateful that not once, but twice you have come on and shared that with all our listeners. I will encourage you to go to RussTerryLifeCoach.com. Yes, you'll find that book there, I'm quite sure. Seems to be everywhere. Everywhere Russ is, the book is. And I want to thank you for coming back again and telling us all the exciting things that you're doing.
Thank you, Lori. It's such a pleasure being with you.
It was great. Thank you, Russ.